Okay, good afternoon everybody. So today we are going to start our lecture, but before that I'd like to mention that whatever we have studied in our last class is that we derived the equation of motion of a simple pendulum. It is going to be no, it's not the simple pendulum, rather pendulum which is undergoing the oscillation in a plane. I cannot remember what was the equation. Either it was theta double dot plus g by l sin theta is equal to 0, or what I suspect is that theta double dot minus g by l sin theta is equal to 0. So which one is correct I cannot remember, but the thing is that you understand that it is plus, if it is minus and I have written plus, then I am going to lose my marks complete. If it is plus, if I have written minus, then I am going to lose my complete marks. There is no mercy in it. If you can remember in the that WebEx class, what I mentioned that I think you have, some of you got the forces as something like 1500 Newton, and I told that if it is of 10 Newton, if you could have derived 10 Newton, I am not going to deduct the marks. But please keep in mind that if it is plus, if it is minus and you have written plus, then total marks is to be deducted, because you will find that the whole meaning is going to change with plus and minus. Every meaning is going to change. So be very careful. And what to say that I cannot remember, because I studied in class 11, so I cannot remember. But what we will be doing is that I will not put my pressure in my memory power, rather we will be looking in a logical way, but just hold your patience. Just hold your patience, and we will be looking. Okay. So as of now, we have scored 0. We have not scored anything. Okay, sure. So with this, today's topic is the tutorial 1. Okay, and problem number 3. So this problem is talking about this is the arrangement, and in this arrangement you are going to get, this is a sliding way, and this is the pivot. This is also a pivoted joint. Okay, so in this joint there are masses are there. So this is of length L, this is of length L. So it is going to form a triangle, and the angle is theta, and this length is also L. So in totality it is going to make twice L length, and they are composed of uniform thickness. So that way, if its mass is m, so this total mass is going to be twice m, and it is going to support a huge mass of mg. Now all these things are subjected to the gravity, and this equilibrium position is maintained by a couple m, or a moment m. Okay, so we have to find it out what is the moment m that is going to support the whole thing, or rather the whole thing is in equilibrium. Now just look into this, that if you are going to detach it with the principle of determinism, then you are going to get, you have to solve lot of constants which are not needed. Rather what we will be doing is that we will be using the principle of virtual work. But before going to the principle of virtual work, what we have to do is that we have to find it out what is the degrees of freedom of this system. Is equal to, so you look carefully that what I have done is that I have made the points. This is 1 point, this is another point, 2, 3 and 4 points. So my degrees of freedom is 8. Now I will be identifying my constant. So the first constant is, come to this point over here. Okay, so before doing it, we have to define the coordinate system, and let's say the coordinate system we are going to choose somewhat like this. Let's say this is my y, and this is what is my x. Yeah, without the coordinate system, these points are invalid. So let's say this is what is. So over here, you look that this x1 is allowed to move. I mean, x1 is the variation of x1 is possible, but not the y1. So y1 is going to be fixed. So this is going to lead to one constant. Okay. Now you come over here. So this x2 and y2 points are fixed. Though it is a joint, but it is not going to change. So minus 2. This is going to lead to the minus 2. Okay. Now is there anything in this link? Yes, there are many things that you have to identify. First thing is, this point, this length is fixed. This L length is fixed. So 1. This is going to be leading to the 1 minus 1. Next, this length is also fixed, as you have chosen 3 different points along this line. So minus 1 for this line. Next, any other? Now look carefully that this length is fixed and this length is fixed. So as such, what they can do is that they can change their relative orientation, but the configuration is not like that. So you have to make the total length twice L, the whole length as fixed. So in doing so, you are adding one more constant. How many you are going to get? How many of you are going to get? How many? Check. 3 and 3, 6. There is one more. What is that? 1, 2. Yeah. There is one more. What is that? Please identify it. Please identify. So this length we have not taken care of. Minus 1. Have we taken care of previously? No. Let me check. This one we have taken care of. The movement, only this movement is allowed, but not this movement. So y1 is going to fixed, that we have taken care of. Over here, this x2 is fixed, y2 is fixed. So 2. Next is 1 is for this length, another one is for this length. Now they can change their relative orientation, so we have to make the total length as fixed. So I have made this, but I have not looked into this length which is fixed. So over here is 1. So it turns out to be what? It is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is equal to 1. So my generalized coordinate, or rather the degrees of freedom coordinate, generalized coordinate is equal to 1. Let us identify it, that what it could be. So you look into it that if I am going to choose xy, I cannot choose xy as my generalized coordinate. Even if I am going to use, then I have to use the constant. And after the getting the solving the dynamical problem, we have to impose the constant. That is quite cumbersome. I will not say that it is impossible, but it is quite cumbersome. So we choose the generalized coordinate as, instead of 1, I mean it is being replaced as theta. So let theta be our one value to describe the whole system. We can get any position in terms of theta. Okay, sure. So what in this figure I have done is that I have made, so let's say this is what is my y-axis and this is what is my x-axis. So let's identify those points as mass points are. I'll be interested in the mass points. Let's say this is your x3 and y3. This point is x4, and y4, and let's say I have not identified this point. Let's say it is x5 and y5. So this angle is theta, this angle is theta. So you are going to get the position of each and every points with respect to the theta. One variable is good enough to describe the whole system. Each and every position of the mass. Look carefully. Okay. So this is our generalized coordinate, and I am repeatedly using this generalized coordinate. But generalized coordinate is, I mentioned in the previous class, as the degrees of freedom coordinate. Okay. So over here only 1 degrees of freedom. So my generalized coordinate should be 1, and I have made it theta. I can use x and y, but ultimately I have to use the constant relationship. So it is quite better to use with only one variable, or rather the degrees of freedom variables. How many degrees of freedom? That many variables we are going to choose. Because ultimately we will be getting only one equation. If it is a dynamical case, there will be only one equation. Now with this, let us erase this part. This part we will be concentrating on over here, because we got the configuration, everything. Okay. So yeah. So what we have to do? We have to use the principle of virtual work. For the statement of principle of virtual work is stating that I is equal to 1 to small n f I minus m I a I, or rather r I double dot times dot product of delta r I is going to be 0. Please keep in mind that all these are the vectors. All these are the vectors. Okay. I'm just going to start with the general definition. So this is what is the general definition. Now what I have to find it out? I have to find it out the r vector, the position vector. So over here we look carefully that all the forces are along the direction of y. So any virtual displacement along x is not going to matter. It's not going to do any work. Okay, and it is a static case, so I don't have to bother about this. But if it is a dynamical case, then I have to look. Okay, now it is clear. As it is a static case, so I'll just take care about only the y coordinates. Okay, but if it is a dynamical case, then please remember I have to take care about x and y both. Okay, so over here I can conveniently erase this part because it is a static case. Okay, so yeah, over here there is another thing, is that there is a movement m that you are giving. Okay, that is the external moment that you are giving. Okay, so with this, now let us identify the mass points. So over here y3 is equal to what? Y3 is equal to, so this length is L, this length is L, this length is L, this length is also L. So y3 is equal to L sin theta. Say yes or no? So it leads to del y3 is equal to what? L cos theta delta. Next, so this is for the mass or the mass twice m. Next, we are going to go for the mass m, y5. y5 is equal to L by 2 sine of theta which leads to del of y5 is equal to L by 2 cos theta delta theta. Next, what else? Yes, y4. y4 is equal to twice L sin theta, which leads to del y4 is equal to twice L cos theta delta theta. Okay, so now what to do next? Next we will be applying this. We are going to give a small coordination of along the generalized coordinate. That means I will be disturbing it along the generalized coordinate theta. Then I am going to check what is the work done by the forces, and for the dynamical cases minus of m times acceleration, and that I am going to equate to 0, and from there I am going to get the equation of motion. So exactly I am going to do over here. So I will be doing what? Next, twice m. Look carefully that this work done by this is equal to del y3 times twice mg. Okay, del y3 del y twice mg del y3, because they are collinear. Okay, plus work done by that mg is equal to mg times del y5 plus m0g times del y4, and over here what is going to happen? M times theta. Yeah, look carefully that if theta is going to increase, let's say it is in this direction, theta is going to increase, so it is going to be opposite minus m times delta theta is going to be 0. Yeah, is it alright? So now let us substitute those L cos delta theta. So it is going to be L cos theta delta theta, yeah, plus mg del y5 L by 2 cos theta delta theta, L by 2 cos theta delta theta, and over here del y4 is equal to twice L cos theta delta theta, twice L cos theta delta theta. So if you are going to solve this, note, can I cancel out the delta theta part? Why? As delta theta is arbitrary, and non-zero. So from this equation you are going to get the n. n is going to be what? N is going to be, yeah, n is going to be mg L by 2. So over here it is going to be what? mg, yeah, 5 by 2 mg L plus twice m0 gl whole cos theta. That's all. Now this question is asking, let's see, let me see the question. This question is asking that theta is equal to 30 degree. If theta is equal to 30 degree, then what is the value? So theta is equal to 30 degree. Theta, if theta is equal to 30 degree, then it is going to be 5 by 2 mgl plus twice m0 gl times cos 30 degree is equal to root 3 by 2. So root 3 by 2. So it is going to be, there's this part. So let's say this. Let's place this part. Let's so it is going to be m is equal to root 3 by 2. So it is 4, 5 by 4, 5 by 4, m plus m0 times root 3 gl. Okay, I think the answer is, yeah, it is matched. Yeah, now look. Now I'll be just give you the, actually over here what we did is that, what I demonstrated over here is that the process through which the virtual work is going to work. Okay. So at first we took the system, we identified the degrees of freedom. From that identification, what we did is that we chose the generalized coordinate. So number of degrees of freedom is going to be that number of generalized coordinate. Now you represent each and every mass point as a function of those generalized coordinate, in terms of those generalized coordinate. The force action point as in terms of those generalized coordinate. Now after that you put it in the D'Alembert's principle or the principle of virtual work. It is called the D'Alembert's principle as well. So in the principle of virtual work, and you are going to get, before that you have to identify this part, delta Ri part. So now in this equation what we did is that at first we identified the forces, then we identified the position vector in terms of generalized coordinate, then we identified the virtual displacement in terms of generalized coordinate, and after that we followed this equation and finally got the desired results. It could be the dynamical equation or it could be the static force or rather moments or whatever the question is going to ask. Yeah, it is now clear. So with this, now we will be going to we are going to solve a dynamical problem. Okay? कब शुरू किया था? 4:30 में शुरू किया था?
नहीं सर, 4 o'clock में कुछ मिनट किए थे।
अच्छा, अभी 4:30 हुआ है।
हाँ, 4:30
ठीक।
24 मिनट का हुआ है सर रिकॉर्डिंग।
अच्छा, ठीक। So we'll be going for next a dynamical problem. So over here we are going to get the advantage of by just using principle of virtual work, we are getting just bypassing the constant. That is what is the beauty of virtual work or the any approach related to the calculus. So the next problem is problem number 10. Problem number 10, tutorial 1. Tutorial 1. Problem number 1. So it is just talking about an acute machine, a pulley with massless, frictionless, and it is supporting two masses, mass M1 and mass M2. M2 is higher. So all of you have solved this problem in your class 11 or higher secondary days. Let us solve that problem from the higher secondary point of view. So before that, how many degrees of freedom this system is having? How many degrees of freedom? Yeah, UF is equal to 1. Because the string is inextensible, or the belt or whatever you are going to say, the string is inextensible. So I'll be choosing X over here as well. X. Okay, if it is moving up X, this is going to go down X. So for the Newton's method, let's say we are going to keep it for the Newton's method. Newton's method. So I have to do what is M1G, and over here the tension T, this and this acceleration towards this is x double dot, to this direction x double dot, this is going to be M to G, and over here the tension T. So the first equation is going to be M1 x double dot is equal to T minus of M1G, and M2 x double dot is equal to M2G minus T. So what you are going to do is that you are going to add it up together, and you are going to get M1 plus M2 x double dot is equal to M2 minus M1 times G. So look carefully over here. We have to deal with the tension that we cannot bypass. But tension is not going to do any work. So essentially you are dealing with the two equations. But my degrees of freedom is equal to 1. One equation is good enough to solve. Now I will be solving it through the principle of virtual work. So for the principle of virtual work, I am not going to use the principle of determinism. I am not going to detach this mass at all. So what I will be going to give is that at this position I am going to give a virtual displacement of delta x. So similarly, I have to give a virtual displacement over here delta x. Okay. So now I am going to calculate the work done through that. So the force work done are, so just a minute, let me once again rewrite the principle of virtual work. I is equal to 1 to n f I minus m r m I r I का double dot delta r I is going to be 0, and it is understood that all these are the vector. So for the first mass, F is equal to m1 times g and minus delta x. For the second mass, it is m2 times g delta x. Next is minus m1 x double dot times delta x minus m2 times x double dot delta x is going to be 0. So what you got? You can, as delta x is arbitrary and non-zero. So in one step, I am going to get my Riccard equation as m1 plus m2 x double dot is equal to m2 minus m1 times g. Yeah, over here it is going to be minus m1 times g. Now, is there any other method? Is there any other method through which I can solve in one step? Yeah, of course there is. First thing is, there are many. Please note that. In this courses, we will be mostly studying 3-4 such methods, but there are many. I mean, without using the Newton's second law, you can derive the system equation. Now, let me just show you that whatever you have studied in your higher secondary courses, I think you can remember this d dt of t plus b is equal to 0. As it is a conservative system, so its total energy with respect to time is not going to change. Okay. Now let us identify t. T is equal to half m1 x dot k square plus half m2 x dot k square. The potential energy is minus m2 g x plus m1 g x. Agree? Now put it d dt of the whole term half m1 x dot k square plus half m2 x dot k square minus m2 g x plus m1 g x is going to be 0. So x leads to m1 x dot x double dot plus m2 x dot x double dot minus m2g x dot plus m1g x dot is going to be 0. Now I can cancel out x dot x dot x dot x dot. Why? Because as x dot is general, in general, x dot in general is not equal to 0. So you understand that we are through this one equation we are going to get the same thing we are going to get. So bypassing Newton's second law, we got principle of virtual work and the conservation of energy. But keep in mind, this is for degrees of freedom 1. Degrees of freedom is equal to 1. This is valid for degrees of freedom is equal to 1. But the equivalent way are there. Let us solve this tutorial a bit. After that, we will be learning the other method. That means with the kinetic energy and potential energy, I can derive the system equation. Okay? So with this, we are concluding to this lecture, and within 5-10 minutes after that, we are going to take another lecture. Okay?